So which one is the main shot? Like the main.
It rotates. It's 3 of them. though. You got one there.
So,
Okay.
If you're looking at the TV, the current camera is the one that's over
That's
here.
right.
This one. Right. Okay. All right. That joint. Bang. And then that one is that one. And then. Okay. I don't know. Okay.
But they rotate randomly.
No, that's cool.
Let it keep up with you.
With this, dog. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm very big on just figuring out a way to do what makes you happy. And, you know, entrepreneurship is all fun and dandy, but motherfuckers don't discuss, like, you know, you investing, you spending your own money and making your shit come true. And it's like, you know, it's important to be resourceful, and it's important to be like, fuck it, regardless of what, I'm gonna make this shit happen. So I'm heavy on the DIY, figure that shit out.
Yeah.
Build the set, be able to take that shit with you, all that shit.
I appreciate it. And that's what it is. It's like every month or so, maybe every 6 weeks, you be sitting around and be like, so what else could we get to add to the situation? What else could you use to do your job better? Whatever have you. We figure out how much it costs and we work towards adding to the situation.
You gotta always figure out a way to expand.
You know, it's not a rush thing, but it's a pace. You know, try to maintain progression in that way. I think it's more realistic that way. Barbie, take you an ashtray so you ain't stuck over there without one. Mm-hmm. So we straight?
Yes, sir. My fault.
Yes,
we are.
All right.
I'm sippin', 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 I'm sippin'.
Sippin', I'm 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 sippin'.
This is Sippin' with Sammie. I am Sippin' with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sippin' with Sammie, you ain't sippin' right. Please get your fucking life together. It'll be 2023 already and you wouldn't have had a shot yet. I got the human Barbie in here co-hosted with me today. Barbie, what's up with you?
What's going on? You already know.
How you feeling? You good?
Yes, I'm doing good.
Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you always.
Anytime.
Always. And today we have a guest that I met about a little less than a year ago at this point. Which is a very interesting story we'll get into in a minute. But we have T. Marie. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming.
That's dope.
Now, T. Marie is an artist, a fashion mogul. Cause fashionista is like prissy, and you don't carry it like that. You want some niggas is looking at your sneaks too. You know what I'm saying? Like you want it like that. I see what you got going on. But just a dope energy. And one thing that I want to say, cause I know you're not aware of it, is shout out to Ryan from As I Planted Seed and the Treehouse situation, and salute to Vu and them, the event that they had for the community last summer that you performed at. I was hosting.
That's crazy.
And before you got there, at least 3 to 4 young ladies that I figured out did not know you asked me, did you perform yet or were you there yet? And
I didn't even know that.
That was kind of ill to me because usually I do a lot of things where there's showcase situations and it's performances. Usually that's the people's. Like, oh, did I miss my people?
Wow.
These are people, young ladies that look up to you and was super excited. They came there specifically with the energy to see you that day, and they got there early.
That just made
and
me
they was
smile.
around.
That's
When you was on
man.
stage, I looked around to see if they was still there and all of that, and I was looking at their faces.
That's heavy, dog.
It was a vibe. So salute to you because you doing something right to translate to the demographic that I saw that day.
I appreciate
and I think that's
that.
awesome because what are we doing out here, right?
Hey man, I appreciate that, man. That's a big deal. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
man.
that kind of made me like really start paying more attention to it because I've heard of you before and all of that, but I had never met you physically and I had never really followed you. And then I started tapping in and I'm like, I can see why they like her. You know what I mean? Like, because you don't come across as extra or corny.
Yeah. I try not to. I try to be as authentic as I possibly can because we not fucking robots. We not fucking. Like, we human beings, so every day is not a great day. Every moment is not a great moment. So I do my best to try not to create personas that I can't live up to or expectations that I can't live up to. I want motherfuckers to know I'm a human being. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? Every day not gonna be a good day. So I'm humbled. When you hear, you don't hear, we from Philly. Like, everybody's so, everything is driven off of ego and you can't be too too Joe, and so when you hear shit like that, it's humbling because
that's why I want to
like
make
you
sure
said,
I told you that.
dog, like you said, what the fuck is we doing it for if it's not for shit like that? So damn, you just made my night.
No, that was dope because I really appreciated that energy for you, and not you were somebody that I didn't know, but it's like you know, we know everybody in Philly, everybody grandma correct. Everybody at one point made a record.
You said it, not me.
What's your impact?
Right.
You know what I mean? What are you doing with it, and who are you touching? And do you even know what your demographic is? Do you know who's looking at you?
Amen.
And I think that you have a strong sense of who you're pitching to. So
I try to, you know, I try to be as aware as possible. It's very easy to get caught up in just these phones and like what's going on
in your schedule.
Yeah.
Your schedule. Because when your schedule becomes demanding, you start feeling a different kind of way about yourself too.
Facts. You're not lying though, bro. You're not lying.
No, but that's dope. How long have you been an artist?
Wow. I'm gonna say over 15 years. Like I've always been drawn to the arts, specifically music, but I've always been drawn to just that creative world and shit since I was like a buck. Well over 15 years. I ain't about to tell my age on here, but well over 15 years, man.
But that's dope. And it's funny you said you always been drawn to creative. I looked at your visuals. I saw the pictures. And I was looking at them like she thinks of everything around the thing. Even when it's the kitchen scene. And everybody has the white on, but it's the way they have the white on. And then when you buy the truck and when you know what I mean? Different things. It's like, or when you posing for stuff, it's not just look at me. It's a good flick. You know what I'm saying? It looks like a photo shoot.
I appreciate that.
And I know half the time it's just you fucking around at Sunoco or some shit.
You ain't, though. You not lying. No, that's what's crazy. He's not lying. Like, that's what's crazy.
No, but I dig it because I think that I tell people all the time, unless you sell makeup, eyelashes, or hair, selfies ain't promo pics.
Listen.
Models don't just take pictures of themselves.
Yeah.
And then when they are taking pictures of, they're conscious of what they're representing more so than trying to make sure they stick their butt out or that
you gotta be.
If somebody 6'8" thinks they're cute,
you gotta be like everything is all the way down to this music, to these lyrics. Everything means shit. Words mean shit. You feel what I'm saying? You just gotta be conscious without taking a fun out of life. Cause I'm trying to learn. So, you know, living
because you don't want to over serious.
Right. So without taking the fun out of life, but yeah, you do have to be just aware, you know, of everything that's going on around you, what you representing, what you putting out to the universe. Absolutely.
That's dope. Now, when I called Barbie and I said, Barbie, I need you to come through and co-host with me if you got some time. And she said, all right, who's the guest? And I sent her screenshot of your page. And she said, oh, I think I already follow her.
I'm cracking up.
And she said, oh shit, I do already follow her. So clearly you moving around because Barbie's one of them people that's everywhere. She's either vending, helping, working. Nowadays she's been recording. So it's been a lot of different hats, but she knows everybody. And we get around so much, sometimes we forget how many people we've actually bumped into.
We do.
But she remembers you. I'm telling you, making an impact out here.
Thank you.
Barbie, you allowed to talk too, baby? You all right?
Yes, I'm just listening. Yeah, she was asking questions, so I was just listening.
No, I'm just picking with you. But those are the things that I've noticed about you. But when you say, I've been rapping since a buck, but I've always been interested in the arts, it sounds like you had a first love.
Absolutely. I don't really identify without this sounding depressing because at this stage in my life I found the beauty in it and I'm continuing to find the beauty in it, but I don't necessarily identify with anything else. When I was younger, I struggled with finding things that I identify with. And you know, when you a kid, you're very impressionable, so you going, you know, try to fit in a little shit like that. But I never found anything that I truly felt comfortable in at home and outside of music, outside of just being creative. I am an empath. I go based off of feeling, even all the way down to how I dress every day. How am I feeling today? I literally ask myself those questions. So when it comes down to like,
I started doing that a while ago.
Bro,
I started dressing how I feel.
Listen,
like, I don't feel
makes
good.
A difference.
I'm wearing some baggy bullshit. I'm chilling. I'm gonna be comfortable.
Yes, and I 100% operate in everything I do. I'm trying to operate in that energy. How you feeling? What's gonna make you feel your man?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting better with it. I haven't perfected it, but that's something that I try to be conscious in, like, you know what I mean?
But that's part of being intentional and being accountable, because
Absolutely.
there's things that you can do before you leave the fucking house.
Absolutely.
So that when you deal with the world, it's done on the right, you know what I mean, on
Absolutely.
the right time. Part of my phone.
No,
But I definitely agree with the dress how you feel thing. I'm into that.
I
I'm into that.
Yeah.
But and also, like, I'm intentional about if I know I'm going to the studio, I wear sweatpants or basketball shorts or something like that, because I'm gonna spill shit, I'm gonna burn holes and shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sweat.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be in the studio worried about my sneaks.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You
Like,
wanna be comfortable.
I want to be
You
able to
Yours
act
is a little
crazy.
different.
I mean, me.
She not lying,
I'm saying me.
though.
I'm saying me.
I'm not lying, though.
Like,
Like,
now in the creative space,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go like that. Creative space.
but my face still
But
gonna
if
be
I'm
beat.
gonna, but if I got
hair
record,
done.
Oh no,
then I
y'all
need
still got
to-
20 minutes more than me anyway.
I need to feel like the whole whatever I'm rapping about.
She not
I
I
heard
need to
that.
know. I
She
need to
not
know
lying.
that
I
the
like
lyrics
that.
is real.
She
I
not
like
lying.
that. But I like
be a
that.
bum ass bitch
I like
behind
that.
the mic.
She not lying, though.
My
like
lash half off. There's no way I can believe it.
And
How can
I'm
I make you believe it?
I'm
I'm
into
a
that.
tomboy,
I'm
so
into that.
I'll do
I like
my
that.
And I'm a
sweats and
tomboy too,
sneaks,
but at the same
but my
time,
hair
it's
gonna
like,
be done, my makeup gonna be like, I'm gonna feel how, like she said, however I'm talking, I'm gonna make sure that I feel that way, because you know what I mean?
because it's
Like,
gonna come out like that.
What
in the
classifies
track.
y'all as tomboys? Because y'all like baggy shit and sneakers, or because y'all play sports? Or like where does the both for you?
For me, yeah,
Both?
sports.
Okay.
I didn't do like the girl stuff. I did the boy stuff. So I played football. I played basketball. I did track. If they let me play football, I would play football. Like,
Yeah. My god sister was like that. Niggas used to knock on the door to get her to come play street
Yeah,
football.
so-
Like,
that was me.
I think for me it's funny. I think for me, well, number one, I dress how I feel. I dress and what makes me feel good, make me feel
I think you
comfortable.
fly, but go ahead.
But also, you want those crazy, not to get too deep, but I think that the tomboy thing developed because we live in a world where the world will try to tell you that people could treat you how you dress, and we know better. But for me, it's a control thing. So if I walk into a room full of niggas and I know I don't feel like y'all niggas being in my face, I don't feel like having to cuss nobody out, none of that shit, I'm gonna make sure I come in with something that it's not gonna be shown too much. It sound weird.
No,
But it's a control
niggas do
thing.
similar things too.
Yeah, it's a control
Motherfuckers
thing.
don't walk in everywhere with the same thing. You know, you change up your look. You might put your jewelry away, switch your watch up,
Yeah.
depending on where you at
Exactly.
and what kind of attention come with it. And a lot of times that's female related.
Man.
And that's cool. That's cool. But that's why I asked the question when I said what classifies y'all is that, because I know how you dress. I've seen online how you dress and I've seen you perform. So I don't get necessarily tomboy. I think nowadays
That's funny.
That's because you don't see me
That's
outside of
funny.
being dressed up.
Yeah, I never seen you at the Nerf on field chasing everybody down with Nerf guns and water balloons and shit. Like, I never saw that part of you. I see the
Yeah,
videos of
that
you
was-
setting up.
Yeah, that's why.
But I'm
I
pretty
got
sure you out
active.
there getting grass
But you
stains
want to know
too.
something?
Yeah.
That probably comes from, I don't know how old you are, but I think that we're at the age where, like I said, control. We kind of have more control over.
Yeah,
if I want to
do.
be feminine presenting
Yeah.
today, I'm gonna make sure that's how I carry
Correct,
myself.
Correct.
But
It's
if
a
I,
control
yeah,
thing. It
like
is.
if I want to be,
But if I want
You know what I
all
mean?
the attention off of me,
period, that's
then
me.
I dress down.
That's me.
But this I don't want to say the new generation, because they would be the ones ahead of the new generation. They don't even see none of that shit. They all,
Of course,
they,
but
like,
they came up. They didn't come
we
up
started
in the
wearing
era
skinny
of
jeans. Them
Aaliyah
motherfuckers started wearing
and
parachute
Brandy.
pants
They
and
didn't
flannels.
come up with that era of idols that dress that they didn't have to be naked. They didn't come up with TLC and SWV and Brandy and Aaliyah, whereas though baggy clothes was acceptable, being skinny or normal bodies
Aaliyah
was
used to be the
acceptable.
sexiest motherfucker
You know what I
in the
mean? Like-
world, and her shit was never tight.
Right.
Yeah, that's funny.
She
Yeah.
wore the sports bra, but the Tommy bra, but that it wasn't like she was heavy chested.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it was like Aaliyah was accepted.
But
You
that's
know
what
what I
I'm trying
mean?
to say. But
Yeah.
they don't see that now. They see Cardi
Yeah.
B. They see other things now. So of course that's how they're going to carry it.
Yeah,
Because that's what they see.
I just think it's interesting because, like I said, I just didn't see that.
I think the internet.
Like, I know I could dress like a boy and still look sexy. I know that for a fact.
I always tell this story, right? And this is aging myself, but the Greek picnic.
That's not aging yourself.
Remember the year when Remember
Yes,
Them
it
Days
is.
came out? Remember when Remember Them Days came out with Beans and Eve that summer? Major Figures was popping. Off the Hook was popping. Yeah. Most Wanted was on the come up. Like everybody, like it was bubbling in the city that year, right?
Yeah.
Broad Street flooded, all out of state plates, all type of craziness. The white guy on the back of the Wrangler banging the joint out, riding down Broad Street like it's going crazy.
Oh, you
and
never got this?
It's all half naked and naked women walking all over the place. And I sat on the sidewalk on top of a car for probably about 12 hours because we went out in the middle of the night and we went home the next morning. So I'm sitting there. The baddest girl I saw that whole night had on baggy linen pants and a white button up, halfway buttoned up. You know what I'm saying? Probably sports bra or something under it. This is a long time ago. And she's in the middle of everybody naked.
Correct.
Yep.
And when she walked down that sidewalk, because she was on some cool shit, she wasn't even like, you know what I mean? She walked down the sidewalk full of savages and wasn't like stunting, but every nigga on the sidewalk paused.
But you know,
and I was like, if women could see this sometimes, like,
see, I was about
you
to
see what I'm saying? The part that I saw.
That when you take off all your clothes, you lose your sex appeal. So some females forget that.
Well, because a lot of times they're forcing sexy on you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you everything. I'm gonna show you exactly what I want you to see right now.
Yeah.
Well, not to be shady, but I'm gonna be real honest. And like God has given us. She
starts responses.
No, God has given us all different gifts, different assets, and different things that attract people to us for different reasons.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, again, no shade, you know what I mean? But everybody, sometimes God gotta give you body because you don't really have no substance or nothing else. No shade, you know what I mean? Because it's females out there, BBL down, couple degrees under their belt, they got shit going, business owners, all that shit. So we not gonna associate a banging body with no substance. But there are people,
because nothing's absolute.
Yeah, but there are people who have to rely on that, and there's no shade because I ain't gonna hold you.
If I
it's some bitch, period. It's some bitches.
If I had it, I would.
If I was a chick, y'all would hate me. I'd be braiding hair, rapping, whatever the fuck. I'd be doing every fucking thing.
I'm not mad at the women who rely on their assets, their physical assets, to get them to where they want to go. You want to know why? Because because like the whole stripper concept, like when you have a conversation with a stripper and they break down the science of like that shit is that's a therapy. Like the strip club is like, and so
hell yeah.
And when they break down the science of just like you making a nigga, you creating a fantasy for a nigga and and that's what make them. That's a science. I fuck with
Not
you.
to mention these world class gymnasts if they know how to do work shit on a pole.
I fuck with
these
you.
These motherfuckers are strong as hell. They work on their bodies.
Listen, get it how you live. But I'm talking about it's a
but it's a hustle. It's a job, and if you get to a certain level, clearly you know what you're doing, right? So there's some skill in it. Like we don't want to take away from that. Yeah. And I appreciate a good stripper.
It's skill in everything. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Like with age and just with understanding and just with being open minded, man. Whatever you do, as long as you do that shit well, as long as you not slouching with it, as long as you got a business mind about it, I don't. You in there running a bag up. You got a plan. You got a business. You not becoming what your environment is. I respect it.
And you're not hurting nobody.
I respect it. And you're not hurting nobody.
Can't do that.
You're not hurting nobody. I'm not fighting against all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no point in that because now you're placing your ideals, your expectations, and what you would do if you were somebody else on them. And how the hell can you do what I would do if you was me and you could never be me? Because I never tried to be anybody else.
Absolutely.
Even though we all pick up things, because I hate that people act like they're self-made. We pick up shit. You see a trade in somebody, you like it, you grab it. It's just like basketball. I see a nice little move, I'm stealing your crossover. I'm stealing your behind the back move. I'm stealing your floater. You know what I mean? But my game is my game.
Yeah.
It's going to look different when I do it.
Yeah.
But I never wanted to be you. I just saw that you had something that was a dope attribute that I could add to my arsenal. And sometimes personalities are born that way.
Yeah.
Some people come into this world and pop out acting like they singing opera, and you see them years later and they Jussie Smollett somewhere singing and acting like they get it early. But sometimes you pick up stuff as you go along, and hopefully it's positive and nobody's getting hurt behind it.
Everything is driven off of inspiration. Something was an idea before that idea. Like everything had to come from something. it's an origin to everything. So I feel like to try to pretend, no matter what it is, music, art, whatever it is, to like try to pretend that you're not inspired by like the shit that's going on around you. I feel like that in itself speaks to like character, speaks to, you know what I mean? It's nothing shameful about being inspired, like you said, you know what I mean? Seeing something.
I've been trying to tell the people before they pass. Like, if I got something from somebody, I've been running it back to them lately.
Yeah,
like, yo, you know I learned this from you, right?
You
know what I mean? I've been trying to.
Especially where we from, Philly. Like, you have to, like, you get tired of getting on Instagram and seeing, like, I should have told you this, or I wish I could have told you that. We this is our real life experiences right now. Fuck all that. I wish I could have. Like, that shit getting to the point where,
that could be an intention.
I gotta tell you, like, fuck all that. If it's on my, if whoever listens to this, if you ever feel something, you out of nowhere, you not thinking about a person or nothing, and then you get the urge to tell somebody something, you get a thought, a memory come to mind, reach out to that person. Yep. Right then and there.
And shout out to everybody that does that for me, because I have a great core of people that every so often they hit me on a random, check on me, they don't expect nothing, and then they out. And I might not do it for them as much, but like I said, being more intentional about those things is important to me.
All right.
Now, as knowledgeable as you are about who you are and what you represent and how you present yourself, what is the one thing that you think that you've added to the scene and to the game that people have been accepting from you, and what is the thing that you will want to, as a goal, leave to the people?
Oh, that's a good question. Look, what is something that I have added to the game?
Because you've been lit a little while now, like you ain't.
And my most like humble tone. You was wrong.
You funny.
I'm trying.
It's cool. Go ahead, buffer. Go ahead, buffer that thing.
Properly.
He said buffer it. Go ahead, buffer that thing.
Buffer it out a little bit.
No, all jokes aside, though, in my most humble tone, I truly believe that I'm already a part of Philadelphia rap history, and I'm gonna explain to you why. I was having a conversation with Crack, Petey Crack.
Shout out to Crack.
Yeah, shout out to bro.
Crack, you a legend. You can't argue with me now.
I was having a conversation with Crack, and I was telling him, I was like, bro, I don't even think you realize that, like, 50 years from now, when hip hop is being taught in classrooms and at universities, state prop is going to be a major part of that story being
New York
told.
Can't forget state
like,
property.
Yeah, and I was telling him
it's not just us.
And it was like a real live moment of realization. Like, y'all are hip hop is. I don't even think hip hop is.
So
100
you had the
years
same
old.
argument with Crack I had.
Nah, but listen though. Ooh.
You good?
And so when I say that, it's like hip hop is not even 100 years old, and I think we need to recognize that. I don't think that we realize we are in the middle of like becoming history, becoming a part of history, and it's a couple people. I ain't gonna name drop because then you got people. Oh, you ain't say my name, all that shit. But it's a couple people
that have done it already
in Philly. That we are already a part of Philadelphia rap history.
Absolutely.
You can't take nothing from my repertoire, my resume. I'm still growing. It's still areas that I have not touched yet. But I feel like just as far as like being an actual student of hip hop and actually like emulating and showing niggas like I'm really seasoned. Like this ain't no, you know what I mean? I can real live spit for you in front of you and change your whole
control the stage in the crowd.
And I feel like that's my gift. I feel like it's areas that I'm still working on, but I feel like I'm a major contribution to Philadelphia rap.
I like that you're aware of that, because for the same reason I just said about Crack. Had whole arguments trying to convince him he's a legend for the same thing that you just said. Like, no matter what, you can't erase. What they say, they can't erase what we was.
Right.
Like, we can't erase what y'all done, and the fact that you still great. I've heard new verses from Crack this year, going nuts.
I ain't gonna hold you. Crack got some shit.
You got
Crack got some shit in the tuck. He moving a couple pieces around.
And rest in peace to DJ Ant Live.
But once that shit aligned, Crack got some shit.
That's what's up.
Crack got some shit in the tuck.
Now, what is something that you wanna leave as a legacy, or as a if they say when she did it this way or whatever have you.
I gotta change my family life off this shit. Fuck all like the fly shit.
You
you
could
delete. Yeah, you could delete my Instagram, TikTok, all that shit today or tomorrow. If that means that I have created the stability and the financial freedom for my mother, for my siblings that I vision. I don't really care too much. I'm definitely going to stun on niggas. I'm definitely going to have the chains. We're going to have the whips. All that cool shit. But that's on the back end of...
These are trophies that you earn.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's on the back end of what I feel like my responsibility is. And yeah, that's it. Like, I as long as I can leave here knowing, like, you see that's the Jackson estate. Like, what you mean the Jackson estate?
Talk
yeah,
heavy.
Man, that's
Talk
such and such.
shit.
She used to rap. She from Philly. Whatever. Like,
but
if niggas
but
can
that's
say,
that.
Yeah, but that's what that
that's
is.
still standing.
Like, I don't get you
Lawn
relevancy
manicure.
and shit like that be driving niggas crazy. Y'all niggas can forget completely about me if that means that I have achieved what I came here to do. I don't give a fuck about nothing else.
Well, you put yourself in a lane where relevancy isn't the end all be all for you. Your bio says ghostwriter. Your bio says ghostwriter.
Like that.
And no, because I know what I know. I know a lot of people that we seen come and go, and you like, well, damn, they was hot. Where'd they go? They was making more money behind the scenes than
getting their bag, staying out the way.
And shout out to Frankie Storm. Frankie Storm has written some of the biggest songs we've ever heard, and I've had her on a podcast before. One very humble young lady from the area. You know what I mean? Very awesome energy, and it's like,
I don't know you, Frankie, but
You don't know Frankie?
Yeah, man, no, I never. But I'm gonna definitely check her out.
She's written.
That's heavy. I could probably learn something.
She wrote two of Rihanna's biggest records. J-Lo joint.
Her hairstylist.
That's the level of people she writes for.
That's my type of shit, though.
You see what I'm saying? And I'll tap you in with her. Frankie's a beautiful person.
That's my type of shit.
I'll tap you in with her. But yeah, she wrote for
heavy. Like what? That's the type. That's the type of shit that
she wrote a lot
when you accomplish shit like that, I don't give a fuck about what you talking about when it comes to my name. I don't give a fuck about if y'all niggas is bringing my name up in a room. Like, I care about the real life accomplishments or the goals that I'm setting for myself. Fuck all the extra shit. That's for y'all. I don't give a fuck about impressing y'all.
What's the Rihanna song, Kay?
Please don't stop the music.
Please don't stop the music.
That's one of her biggest joints too. That's crazy.
She's an animal. And the crazy shit is, my cousin had told me that I needed to interview her. And he gave me a little background on her and all of that. And I was like, oh yeah, I get her on. And she didn't know why he recommended her to come on. And then we started talking, and I told her, like, it's crazy. I saw your prom picture with my cousin. I was there that night.
Shit, that's crazy.
And she was like, your cousin? I'm like, yeah, the same guy that told you. She's like, that's your family.
That's
and
crazy.
She went on and started talking about how the good times that she had with my family when she was hanging out with my cousin. And the dinners that they had and all of that. And then I told her that my uncle passed, and this lady cried on my podcast and then told me, you know what, fuck it, keep it. And that meant so much to me because of how the reverence that she had for my family in her younger, I think she was in high school when she was running around with my cousin. Heavy. So it's like, you just never, you know what I mean? You never know how your people have touched people or what impact that you could leave on people, because the things she was describing was basically just how my family carries it. Like, every time we meet up, it's a big deal. Yeah. It's a feast, or you know what I mean? It's we going somewhere nice. That's
crazy, because I didn't come from that type of so I admire that, especially in the black community. I don't know, it's just every man for himself out here. So I think it's dope when you come from that, because people like you are going to be a key component and carrying on that energy with your children and how they carry it with their children. But
even his network.
Yeah, dog.
Like, I got family reunions on both sides of my dad's family, like regular family reunions. You know what I mean? So like, when I hear people say I never been to a family, I be feeling for motherfuckers. I'm jealous. And a family reunion could be a movie day, a barbecue, but
real shit, though.
Like congregation for a few hours. And trying to find a way to get the out-of-towners in town, if possible, is a beautiful thing, man. And
it must be nice.
No, but you know what? And I realized this is probably maybe 8-10 years ago. My youngest cousin at the time that was of age tried to take over the family reunion. He was living in Miami. He tried to bring everybody to Florida. It was a lot, though. These things had to be done by committee. This is a weekend.
Of course.
The way my family does it. It's a weekend. It's basically 4 days. So it became a little overwhelming and somebody else took over. But when he did it, I realized, shit, it's our turn. Like, we have to take the control. So if your family doesn't have one, Start you a Facebook group.
Nah, that's a fact.
Talk to the cousins that you know. We all get the sneaks and we all do this, but let's put up 200 a piece and do this. Right. You know what I mean? And all of that.
It's time for our
and
get
elders. The gossiping one to let everybody know, because you know once she knows what's up, everybody good. Like
I'm crying, but no, that's a fact though. It's time for the elders to just be able to show up.
It's their turn to chill.
Yep, that's a fact.
So if they haven't been doing it, introduce them to it before they get out of here. But it's on our group. Us, the ones right above us, the ones right below us, got to pull each other together. Because like I said, it takes a committee. It ain't sweet to accommodate that many people for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it don't matter about having a big family. I'm just talking about when you talk about people having travel accommodations and tickets for this and group rates for that.
Yep. So what do you do when cousins don't like cousins? You gotta have fundraisers, huh? What do you do when cousins doesn't like cousins?
Okay. Well, the twist with that shit is, if you're not gonna come in good spirits, don't come.
Thanks. No, that's a fact. We grown this shit. Or stay away from who you don't fuck with. It's real simple.
Also, the matriarchs is here. You don't get to act stupid. It's not about you.
Real shit.
Y'all better behave and stay on the opposite side of the room.
You upset Nana?
Nigga.
It's lit. Nigga. You upset Nana, it's going up, dog.
When she doing this,
she said it's going.
When she doing this with a fork instead of doing this, because she worried about what y'all doing over there, now I have a problem.
No, real right. Once Nana upset,
I have a problem.
Now we can fight now. Like y'all got Nana.
So we were speaking about partially about your status, the fact that you are cemented in the Philly scene, in the books. Go down, ain't the plane go down tomorrow, God forbid, they will remember your impact on the situation. That's actually a ill thing. But it allows you a space to where, like, all right, I hear people say when you get features, always feature up. Right. But you're in a space where you kind of you're in the middle, I believe, like, because you can get the top features, you've gotten them. You've had a bunch of releases recently with some of the biggest. Shout out to Chill, who hell of an ambassador for his brand. But and you say the Freeze, the E Nusses, and the PDs and all of that. Like, we know all of these. But do you find yourself pulling others up?
Absolutely.
Do you have somebody dope that you...
And I get shit for it all the time. Like, you believe it or not, especially behind closed doors.
Because people think you should always go up, right?
Behind closed doors, I'm a Scorpio. You can't tell me what the fuck to do. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm very in tune with my business mind. So when it comes down to, like, explaining business to me, I'm very receptive to that. But when it comes down to, like, if it's a passion project or if it's something that I truly want to do, you're not telling me what the fuck I can't do. You're not telling me who I can't work with. Granted, there might come a day where I am on a level where I have to be conscious of, like, features and shit like that. Yeah, but like you said, where I'm at currently.
But you wouldn't play yourself anyway. So,
exactly. Yeah. And I gravitate more towards, like we was talking about earlier, how shit make me feel. If I come across an artist
and they got a vibe,
or they got something that inspires me, you cannot be afraid to step off of your pedestal to, like, learn, experience, be open to people and shit like that. And I feel like that's what makes a
Team
great
Scorpio.
Artist. I didn't know you was a Scorpio too. Yeah, but I feel like that's what. And speaking of Scorpios,
I'm a Gemini, so we just the most talented anyway.
I ain't even gonna start.
We just the most talented.
They gravitate to us.
My mom's a Gemini. I can't get away from him. But we ain't
love you, Mom.
I'm crying, very Mom. But no, on some real shit though, like niggas like Drake, I feel like that's what make people like Drake a great artist. He's not afraid to step off his pedestal. Look at how many people have a career
because of Drake.
Because of him.
Because he gave attention to their record or their genre.
Yup.
Like, I think people always say, well, he featured with this one and blew him up. No, he blew up 10 people in that culture off of that one song. Because once we start listening to that with Drake on, now we looking for others.
That's why I said we wouldn't even know who the City Girls was.
Oh, City Girls.
Until
Drake
Tim's.
Right.
We could literally go on and on. Yeah.
Shot the Migos through the roof. And
as
much as we can say about how big they are, how talented they are.
Oh, The Weeknd.
Here we go.
The Weeknd. It's a couple people.
But then there's the names that nobody knows. Yep. There's probably people that's getting bags because of him that don't even realize it.
Exactly.
Because he drew attention. It's like he breaks genres sometimes.
Absolutely.
Entire genres get broken with a Drake record. Now,
and that takes you gotta step out of yourself. Yep.
There's some of these things are already bubbling, but he knows that, and he taps in.
But see, Drake is very strategic because it's that period of time where, like, for instance, I know for a fact, hands down, there are some major names outside of just the major names that already follow me, I know there are major names who have come across my work, come across my page in some form or capacity. And some people just watch, and it's no shade. I understand, yeah, man. Like you want to check something out before you. Drake, the type of nigga that'd be like, let's do it. Like he's not afraid to be like, all right.
I feel like that.
Yeah,
I feel like that. And I feel like that's how even some of the biggest controversies he's had came because he's done that for somebody. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's dope. What is the thing that you think would be the furthest left record that you did or type of music that you've done that people wouldn't have expected you to do before you did it? What was the thing that was like stepping off and walking the plank and seeing what happened, rolling the dice? Like, what was that record?
Show Out featuring Mac and Party featuring Lil Sis and China. And those two, because number one, the most obvious
look those
one is,
up.
Period. The most obvious thing that stands out is all females. Like with Mac, that was my first time working with Mac. Great experience. Love her for life. Same thing with China. That was my first shit. Lil Sis too. But you gotta be willing to, like we were just talking about, step outside of your comfort zone. I don't operate off of ego because I know who the fuck I am in real life. I know in real life you could sit me in a room full of 100 rappers from Philly. I'm going to come out standing. Like I'm a big dog in real life. So when it comes down to like being around other great people, like I'm comfortable, if that makes sense. I'm not afraid to how do I word it? Like some people have to be 100% confident, and if they not, they don't want to be in the room. I'm not afraid to be a little bit uncomfortable and like, oh shit, damn, you just taught me something. I'm not afraid.
That's
like
Scorpios, we adjust.
Yeah, bro.
We adjust
like
to the situation. So
I'm not afraid.
I'll try shit. Like I'll literally be the one that's letting niggas hear my idea. Like, you know how everybody's on that
take bravery
and motherfuckers won't go first. And depending on who go first, motherfuckers act like they ain't done.
I did it
like,
before,
I don't be on that. I be on some real shit, I'm not gonna lie. A little bit of feedback takes me a long way because I can adjust. So if I say, yo, you fucking with this, and you like, yo, I like that part, not that part, I'm good after that.
Right.
And I'm trying to get in the booth early because DJs don't play past the and I want to be heard. I'm not going last on this bitch. And even though it's digital, and we can place verses wherever we want, we can move them around. The mindset of the rapper hasn't changed. If you record in a certain space and you don't hear yourself in that space, you feel like you got dissed. Like say you went second when you recorded it, and when you heard the song back, you was fourth.
Gotcha.
That's never happened to me, but
it might have been a compliment because you anchored the song well, but you don't feel that way because you felt like you put yourself in the position you was going to be in, and you might have wrote a different verse to anchor.
That's funny because that's never happened to now.
But this is the math of making a song though. Like,
right, but what if your verse was to go last? Like, what if your shit was actually? To
usually the engineer or the producer would probably have the best ear to decide. But I've had this situation happen with a song that till this day people love, and my man technically threatened to sue me before he even listened to the whole song. Like I sent him I'm
saying this now on camera. Listen,
he pulled up that's my intellectual property.
Huh?
I said on the phone, nigga. Like I thought the feds was on it. Like we don't talk to each other like that, bro. Like we don't never talk. Like we've been creating a long time. We don't never. And I'm gonna tell you what the situation was.
Pick it up.
Let me explain the situation because I don't want to confuse the crowd because the crowd is probably like, all right. And I'm not gonna say which song because then y'all will know who. But it was a situation where I had a studio session and I invited my one homie because he's a vocalist and he brought my other homie that's a rapper. Okay. Like, yo, I'm going to Rube John, come with me. You know what I mean? Okay. So they came through. Love, since both of y'all here, I'm going to stop this song. We're going to pick a beat and we're going to we're going to make a song now. Okay. Right? You going to do the vocals. You going to rap. If I got time, I'll lay my verse. If not, I'll lay it when I got more time because my session almost over. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So they lay their verses. They fire. I'm riding to this shit. I'm still writing, like, still perfecting my verse a little bit. And I'm like, damn, if I don't kill this, I kind of got to give them the song. Like, because I'm not going to fuck up the song. Like, if I don't fit in the pocket that they was in, that's their song. Like, that's how I felt about it.
Okay.
Then I laid my verse. And the engineer said, all right, it makes more sense to put it this way. So he calls me while I'm in the studio. And I'm like, bro, I'm actually finishing up the record now. look, this was going on. And he hears the background and he doesn't hear himself come on first. So then I'm like, no, it sounds better this way. I'm going to send it to you. I sent him a 3-minute song. He calls me back in 45 seconds. Tells me he hates it.
Wait, how you call me back?
Ego.
Wait.
That's ego.
How you call me back in 45 seconds in the song 3 minutes?
But people like that is never. They was it when. But see, God do shit like that to remove people from your vortex because
like, whoa,
you operate.
It don't be
ego.
worth all that.
Yeah, you not a team.
Because everybody's response was, "It's your record, right?"
Hey.
I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going.
And it's my song, and you operating off ego like you're entitled to something. Bro, we could just take it off.
Correct. How about that? No, seriously.
But mind you, hold on. I got there. That's where I got, because remember what I said initially.
Take it all off.
What did I say initially? I said if the song was dope without me, they could have had it.
Right.
So the same way that y'all could have had it, you could just give it to me.
That's crazy.
Because it's still mine. This beat was sent to me. The studio time was mine. You see what I'm saying?
This song is out in the universe now.
It's out. It's been out for a while. And people like it.
Not to be shady, y'all.
People
but we
like
want to tell you. Now, is he still on the song? Did he end
he's
up?
Still on
did
it.
y'all
Because
find
what
a middle
happened was
ground?
we voted. There's a third person on the song.
Okay.
Got you. So
the third person heard it and said, yo, this shit sound better than I thought it was going to sound from the last shit we had. Okay. And then he got outvoted.
Yeah.
And he was cool.
He chilled after that. He chilled after that. But before that, intellectual property went across my cell phone, and I wasn't on a business conversation. I was talking to the homie. That was like, you know how you hear certain shit where you like, all right, I gotta stop arguing and start listening.
Yeah, that was
like,
God,
what are you
though,
saying?
Like, sometimes he show you. He show you like, man, like, oh, bro, yeah, like
he showed you early.
Oh yeah,
you know what I learned?
That's why I try to be so clear about shit now.
I've learned that, and I just recently have come to this conclusion, and I'm learning that it's two different type of experiences, especially like when you're dealing with entertainment, especially. I'm gonna speak from my experience. I'm a female artist. I deal with nail techs. I deal with makeup artists. I deal with hairstylists. I deal with videographers. I deal with photographers. There's two type of experiences. You either gonna have a business transaction where I pay you what your cost is. Mm-hmm. You provide the service. Mm-hmm. I appreciate you. You need me to leave you a review. Cool. That's it. Mm-hmm. And then you have people that you're going to start to develop a relationship with. And it's our job to determine who is who. And it can be fucking vital because you don't want to find out later on down the line that a person that you thought you was building a relationship, a rapport with, is somebody that you was only supposed to have a business transaction with. And I'm trying to learn. I get a little bit.
And mind you, this is like the homie. Like, not somebody I met through music.
Of course, you want to take it personal, but so after that, John, you be like, oh, all right, cool.
Now I know what I'm getting myself into fucking with you. But you dig what I said. That's why I explained. That's why I explained the situation, because like I said from the gate, I invited him through to do a record. He bought somebody else that's like, all right, we might as well. I had you here to do a hook for me for something else anyway.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that was really the transactional point of it.
Right.
Once we decided, all right, we good enough. I trust you enough to be able to create on the spot.
Yep.
Then now we're going to build something from scratch as a unit, as the three of us.
Facts.
And then even in the consideration of how to go about his reaction to the song, I still kept it like it was the three of us. I still had a vote.
Yeah.
I could have just said, fuck it.
That was thorough.
What you want to do? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But I didn't do that. I left it at a vote. Everybody was on the line together.
Take it off.
But you got to imagine, I got an engineer next to me mixing this motherfucker. That don't dance.
Set it
up.
I got an engineer that don't dance to nobody's shit that he record. And he's mixing it down and he's excited about it. He's bopping and he's seeing me on the phone and he looking at me on the phone like, is he serious?
Yeah, so that means he couldn't have took him off. That's what he's basically trying to say.
I mean, shit, it's been done before. I had a song that I had a hook on it that was so fucking perfect.
And
the boy did some fuck shit at Glockaware. Took it right off that song, kept my verse, put another nigga on the hook, put 2 more verses on it. Song went out.
Yeah, listen.
Song out right now.
I'd have turned.
Song out right there.
Scorpios would have said.
I'd have turned to David Ruffin so fast, bitch. Let me tell you.
But it's funny though, because at the end of the day, like, my investment is my investment. You know what I.
But that's how you know. See, and I'm at an age and place in my life where I don't operate off ego, meaning I can't tolerate nobody being around me that's operating off of ego. Correct. If you're thinking about self, if you, and it's so crazy, man. That's why I spoke on what I spoke
selfless.
on. Yeah, that's why I spoke on
think
what
about
I spoke
everybody else. So for one person just to think about themselves
I
in the
can't tolerate
moment,
that.
That's like, all right, let's cut that off. How about we just cut that off now?
Yeah.
And we move forward.
Yeah, when it comes to like what I'm trying to build, what my team is working on right now, and we've had a couple experiences. Me and my team had a couple experiences recently, like whereas, and it's like my manager putting me on game, like to not take it personal. I'm still learning to not take shit personal because I'm putting a certain energy out for a reason. But it's like, when people show you that they operating on their own time and they're operating in a space where they're thinking about what benefits them, it's nothing personal. Yeah, I understand. But
I resent that a little bit if I came to you a certain way and you presented like you was matching energy. Of course,
bro. Of course. Period.
Yeah, because you presented like you was matching energy. And that was a means to an end, which makes you scheming now. You could have just told me what the play was, and we could have ran more plays.
I agree.
No, I agree. If you would have just told me
you fucked up 5 off of 1.
I agree.
Now that 1 might be the last, or the 2 might be the last, but we could have did this all day if I knew the angle. That's just like relationships. Even people say if you just tell me what you want, the people that's genuine about that are thinking about the other options. And that's not a negative thing. That's a positive thing. They saying, well, shit, if this is what we are, then this is what we can be. Yeah. That's all it is. That's all it is. So no, I like that example, and I'm glad that you got a sensible manager. I follow a lot of people's management.
Yeah, that's my dog,
and it scare me.
And it's crazy. It's crazy though because
y'all.
I stayed but I was very selective. It took a very long time for me to entrust that title and just that a person being that close to my baby. That's my baby, but. God really made it so that shit happened organically. I'm also real funny about working with men. It's sad that I gotta be like this, but I be on my P's and Q's. I ain't no,
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, man. So it's like when it comes down to working with men, I'm very just strategic about figuring out what intentions are. And when it comes to my manager, like this boy real live a mentor, this big bro. He protect me like I'm one of his daughters. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like
that for you.
When it comes to this industry and certain shit, you gotta have people around you that you can trust with your life.
When it comes down to this industry, you always have to have people around you can trust with your life.
I'm just being honest. And me and him, I ain't gonna hold you. He got his stripes. He was battle tested a little bit early on.
You had to go through some things.
Early on, it was a situation.
Did you put him through it or the people?
No. It was a no. You know it's crazy though because it was
trying to get you out of here.
Look, I'm asking. That's what they gonna ask when they hear it.
It's crazy though because similar to kind of like you know what you was just talking about with your homie. Long story short, it was early on, and me and him establishing our business rapport, us figuring out if we work well together, whatever. And I was presented with an opportunity. You feel me? I'll go into details about this later on in life. This for the young artists, but I was presented with an opportunity. And you know, long story short, it was on some shit where it was presented to me where if I wanted to move forward with the opportunity, I would have to cut ties with him. Right. Now, keep in mind, this was very early on. I had a feeling
that's what that was.
Yeah, it was very early on in our business relationship. So on some real shit, if I was a different person, we just gonna keep it a buck. Yeah,
I can actually take care of you right now.
Yeah, like it was on some shit like that, and I was able to like literally run everything down to him, and I pay attention to moments like this, pivotal moments like this, and cuz was on some shit like. Listen, whatever it's, if it's Team Marie, we on it. I'm still mentor. I'm still, you still, that don't change
all
nothing.
That title shit has nothing to do with his belief in your movement. That's dope.
That was a pivotal moment because that was the deciding factor on top of other little factors and things that was said to me behind closed doors.
Look at God.
Ultimatum type shit. It presented
itself in the perfect time for you to make that decision.
Man.
And to, for now, be able to believe that that's what it is. And that's perfect. Because now I don't even want to say because I get long-winded. Where was the point? And because you said it earlier, and this is for young artists, when is the point when you need a manager, or when you decided you needed or would be better off with a manager?
When you could trust them motherfuckers.
Now,
no, all right, well, not
because I heard a rule of thumb, and tell me if you agree with this.
All right, go ahead.
There's a lot of artists that can handle their business hasn't picked up enough for them to need a third party to handle it yet.
I'm the perfect person to speak on this. All right. So a lot of shit prior to damn near my brand and everything surrounding my brand was already established prior to me meeting my manager, which is part of the reason why motherfuckers will pay attention to you. I'm not one of those people, not now, not ever, will I be okay with you telling me what's going on with my money and my business and not explaining it to me and me not thoroughly understanding it and me just being like, okay, where I sign? A lot
of people say okay because they're confused.
Nah,
and that's
exactly.
when you get fucked up.
And I don't want to ask questions.
Yeah, because they don't want to look stupid.
That's so,
but
the
person that's talking to you knows it. They know you don't know. And they like, oh, you gonna let me keep going? Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's crazy though because the very first thing I said on my mouth when you know you could trust a motherfucker, that was one of the very first things that was kind of tested with him. Like, and it wasn't even intentional. It was on some shit like I might have a question for him and he'll break that shit down to the point where, oh, you explaining shit that you don't even really have to explain, but you making sure that I understand it. Shit like that stands out to me. It's like you making sure that you provide the information for me. If it's something that I want to know and I'm asking you, and it could be a question that literally does not benefit him or works against whatever. Like it could be something that doesn't include him.
It could backfire, but he's gonna be honest.
But he gonna be honest,
absolutely.
Bro.
Now, when you told him the situation, was it hypothetical or was your intention to just be straight up?
Oh yeah, I'm straight. Yeah, we gonna look. This is what it is.
So it was presented as, listen, I got a phone call, I got an email, and this is what they laying out, and this is what they saying, and this is why they say that it benefits me to not fuck with you.
Yep, I took it a step further. He's coming with me to the meeting. When I come sit down with y'all, he's coming with me. Oh, we about to have a phone call? Say no more. I'm about to call him and put him on the line so he could be in the call.
But you know what?
I take it that far. Like
you fuck up your position and people don't realize this. You fuck up your leverage if you don't have a third party. It's kind of like booking for yourself.
But I think
like you got a writer. When you do shows, you got a writer, right?
You're hitting the nail on the head.
It's way easier for a third party to send your writer than for you to send your writer. And you know why. It doesn't make sense because like I'm asking for the same shit I'm going to tell this person to ask for. But the fact that there's a third party calling on behalf of
absolutely
makes it taken more seriously. Just like when we used to watch TV shows and movies coming up. People that was hustling always used to pretend to be their own secretary. It's a reason for that.
Nah, it's sad, but yeah.
The world still evolves around you're not a big deal if you don't have somebody that if you don't have an onion around you. And the onion theory is like you can't call Jay-Z directly. You can't call Beyonce directly.
That's your protection. That's your.
You see what I'm saying?
Literally, that's the bumper between people being able to grab you and just like,
correct.
Yeah,
ruin,
like because
ruin 150 people's lives.
Listen, man, if I'm able to, you want to know what it is. People are turned off by the idea of you being able to fact check what it is that they're telling you, and when you're able to go, I was told to
double check the Bible.
Man, you supposed to fact check everything. People are intimidated by the idea of being able to like you telling me something and I'm able to hang up with you and directly cross check that information to see if what you I'm not a dummy.
And I'm doing that 3 times.
Yeah,
I'm doing that 3 times.
Yeah,
no, but like we talking about
some people take it personally.
We're talking about either a literal or a figurative me signing away on something.
Oh, that's a whole nother. Yeah, I ain't
so we not doing nothing until I run this past 18 different options and scenarios and
I'm
4 people's opinions that I
want to understand everything that's on the paper. I want to understand what this means, and I'm going to ask you. And if you get annoyed, if you're not patient enough to make sure that I understand this, that's a red flag.
Correct. It was an NFL player. One of the biggest podcasts is his too. I forget his name. Brandon Marshall, I think it was. He said when he went to speak to his accountant, since his kids was 3, 4, 5 years old, he said he used to make his accountant talk to them about their money in a way that they can understand it.
See, makes sense. I like that.
And they're going to grow up talking to him about their money.
Right.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And he said it. And he said, I literally want him to talk to me like I'm stupid. But now I also make him talk to my kids on a level that they understand,
right,
in front of me.
That's heavy,
and that's intentional, heavy. And that's dope, and that's understanding. Because you know how much you learn by just bumping into information.
Yeah.
Imagine somebody put you in those rooms and
you want those crazy?
We fight those rooms because we become adults and be scared to go to our own meetings about our own business. We want somebody to go for us and tell us what happened.
And that's why I feel
not me,
like,
but
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
No, because I've been telling people for years, if they tell you can come, you better go.
Exactly. So you can know for yourself.
They could work out an extra 20% in that room that you have no fucking
facts
knowledge of.
And I personally feel like that like me being conscious and just being aware of what's going on around me, it doesn't just serve me. Like it's somebody else that I'm going to be able to pass this information on to or educate somebody just about like, you don't have to like the first thing that's placed in front of you or the first opportunity that's presented to you. You don't have to take it. Yeah, take it out of fear of like you're never going to. What's for you is for you.
And the odds of that being the best option is actually not good.
Right.
So it's like you know, I think that, and I'm gonna just be blunt. I think that when it comes to labels, when it comes to like certain people, not everybody, but certain people, they will prefer you be a little bit less educated because that benefits them.
That's why they like young. That's why they like young artists.
Yeah, so it's like if it's something that we can offer, if it's something that I can offer somebody, and I'm not old, I feel like I'm at the perfect position in my age and just my knowledge and just wisdom that whereas though I can tap into like learning from the older generation, and then I can also pass that information that I just got from here down to the young boys. And I feel like that's important. Like you don't gotta be quick to just hop on something because you feel like you're gonna be stuck in the hood forever, or you gonna have to work for it. Yeah. Are you gonna have to be patient for it? Yeah. Are you gonna take losses? Absolutely. You
but greater later emotion. Exists for a reason.
Right. Period.
And I'm gonna tell y'all something that everybody praises, but nobody pays attention to. Nipsey did all that independent shit that y'all praising because he talked to an OG that said, bro, you don't have enough leverage to get what you want out these labels.
That's
go build the leverage.
Interviews.
Go build the leverage. Hove told him that. Diddy told him that. P told him that. Motherfucker said, look, and this is how you build the leverage. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then he put out a saying and said every copy $1,000. Motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Right. Hove bought 10 of them, but you know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers told him what the play was, back this play. Mm-hmm. It took a walk. The devastation is it. In his situation is that when he reached that pinnacle, when he became that guy, we lost him.
Correct.
But the reason that I'm at my man housewarming with his girl and he like, yo, we owe all this to Nipsey Hussle. We just kept our head down and kept listening to Nipsey. But I'm sitting by a pool, an elevated crib with a pool outside of Baltimore, and this is a little nigga that come from nothing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And he like, no, we was just listening to Nipsey. Like they hurt because they'll never be able to tell him that.
Right.
Because he taught y'all how to do shit.
That's crazy.
But he struggled for that. Nipsey was a star a long time ago. Regardless of who know what.
Yeah.
And you know the business. Just like Crack is a star. Just like, you know what I mean? The motherfuckers around us, they're stars. Yeah. But to get to that point, the reason that he took that long walk was because he was told how to get leverage. To know his position in the room. Don't walk into a room ignorant. Don't walk in there with your hand out. If it's not a partnership, it's not worth it. That's what happened.
That's crazy because that's really one of my favorite interviews. And
which one was it?
No, what you it's a few. You got the one where he sat down with Rat Radar podcast. I don't know if that's the specific one that he touched on that end.
I can't remember which one it was.
But it's a few that I kind of like. It's in my playlist that I run through. I watch weekly, and what you speaking on. We was talking about operating the ego earlier. That for some niggas, that would be devastating to their ego to hear like, oh bro, you what you asking for, you not in a position to ask for yet. Some niggas will take offense to that, get emotional, But we was talking about being able to humble yourself. You gotta step out of your body and be able to like, fuck who you is, fuck how you feel about yourself and how much work you've done. You asked this nigga his opinion for a reason. He's giving you an honest opinion.
Talk heavy.
And he talking some real shit to you.
Right.
And it takes a certain, especially for men, like it takes a certain level of just being comfortable in your manhood to humble yourself and be like, you know what, bro? I hear you. I might not have been looking at it like that. I feel like I'm, man, but you know what? You right. I hear you.
Not only do I receive that, I'm about to sit down, remix my whole plan behind that, and teach people while I'm figuring it out in real time.
But that's somebody hearing it.
And there's a level of vulnerability that I'm still not at as an artist to this day.
Right.
Like, I don't think people realize, like, to be the man and not be the man, know that tomorrow if something happens, you could be a target.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The wave don't catch. You could be a target. What other skills, what else have you done? And he built this, Nip was special because he had entrepreneurship on his side. He was ahead of the game in a lot of things as far as branding. But I mean, just for anybody in that position like you said, it's something that hits a man's soul when you hear that shit, man. I got songs with Drake. I got songs with Wiz. I got songs with Wale. I got songs, and you telling me I can't say shit to the label?
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm the one over here that's from the biggest gang over here.
A lot of niggas are self-destruct by hearing that because they'll
be in jail in 90 days.
Yeah, they'll start panicking.
They'll be in jail in 90 days or 9 months.
That's crazy. It's some real
and
shit.
we've seen it. We didn't have a background story.
Right.
But then now in the podcast age, we starting to hear the stories.
Yeah.
We've seen it.
Yeah.
We've seen it. But like, I just think that, and that's why I'm big on saluting your awareness, your comfortability in being you, and all of that, because there's a lot that comes with this shit.
I agree.
And I understand that there's a level that women go through that I don't understand, but there's also a level that I do understand.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I've represented probably 3 male artists and probably 3 female artists in my years of taking people on as managing and, trying to help their situation, whether it was officially or unofficially. It's a different ballgame.
Yeah.
It's a different ballgame. One thing I want to ask you is, when did you feel like you found your voice on record? Because you know how people work out in the studio for years to find their voice, their place, their whatever.
Well, I was in college and
college you went to?
IUP.
Oh, you was at IUP?
Motherfucking party capital.
We probably know a whole lot of
I used to be in my dorm, tired of them niggas.
I ain't gonna ask you what year till we get off campus.
Yeah,
we probably know a lot of same people.
That's crazy. But nah, when I was in college, and it was because like that was a major transition for me in terms of my understanding and my perception of who I was as a person. So I'm using big words, but
you good.
I'm trying to just
my crowd drinking, but they smart too.
Yeah, I'm trying just because I be losing niggas sometimes. They be like, what the fuck is you talking about, man?
Nah, I don't dumb it down. You
but no, I think that when I was in college, it became something different. It was on some shit like, I was like, again, not to get on the like depressing joint, but I was making that shit to stay alive, nigga. Like I was making that shit to not lose my fucking mind. Like that's the type time. Like, and I feel like that was when like everything changed. My cadence changed. My delivery started changing. My fucking niggas compliment me on my voice a lot. My voice even started changing.
The energy coming back changed after that.
Yeah, everything changed after that. And it was because I had tapped into something.
Who was you rapping with? Who was somebody that you was sharpening your tool with, or that you would go to for approval or whatever have you if possible? At that time.
I ain't even trying to be shady.
It wasn't nobody? I mean, no, it doesn't have to be somebody, but sometimes...
I'm trying to think if it was anybody.
Sometimes you wind up around that group of people that just get busy and you be like... They make you want to like
crazy
always be ready.
I think that I gravitated more towards... and it's a little corny, but at that time... It's funny because a lot of niggas wasn't rapping then. Which is a good thing and a bad thing. Like we was just talking about that everybody rap now because it's like, but it's like then there wasn't too many niggas that I could like, yo bro, listen to this shit I just wrote. And then even to this day, I don't have that squad of just like, but you know, we ain't gonna get to that. That's for a reason. I feel like it didn't develop then and it's not something that's prevalent in my life now as far as like
organic shit though, because you got your manager by accident.
That's a fact. Yeah. I never thought about it like that. But like just as far, I used to always picture like, yeah, my gang they gonna motivate me. By the time I get to these shows,
like every single rapper before they wind up on the scene.
Yeah, and then it's like that's not the because it's a crossover from where it's like, oh, you just rapping for fun. Oh, you trying to be serious with this shit? So we got to sit in the studio with you for 3 hours.
But this is the conversation
you gotta, like,
that I used to have. Like a bunch of like, there's been a long time with people knowing that I dabble in music and I know people, right? So there was a time where a lot of young boys would come to me, like became a regular conversation, and they'd be like, "Yo, I'm nice. You think I'm nice, right? I get busy, right?" You'd be like, "Yeah, you dope. Just keep working, whatever. You know what I mean? Do your thing." And they like, "My niggas be bullshitting, man. I'm telling niggas we can have a movement. It's 30 of us. It's 20 of us. Everybody get money. Da 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 da. Why niggas ain't moving? And I'm like, you got to move first, right? If you don't move, there's nothing to follow, right? Like you can't wait till 30 niggas is coming to your show from your block to do a show.
No, that's a fact. But at the same time, if I'm getting ready for this show and I've been practicing for this show in front of y'all niggas all week, and then Friday come and I'm getting dressed for the show, and y'all niggas is sitting here rolling up, smoking like y'all don't got nothing to do.
Guess what that is?
Those is pivotal moments.
Guess what that is? That is a blessing.
Y'all little niggas better pay attention when niggas acting like they too busy.
That is a blessing in disguise.
I mean, I'ma miss money, all types of bullshit ass. I cut two bitches that I really love. I still love y'all to this day, but y'all bitches cannot be around me. Just little moments like that is pivotal. Like once you start taking this shit serious, like.
Now it comes down to how much more would you have given to that person that didn't give that to you if they didn't show you that at that time?
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Like you gotta the movement doesn't stop because they not moving.
Absolutely,
is my point.
And you had a point about you do have to start it before people can follow. But
take it serious.
Take it from me. Once I start this shit, I'm not gonna keep stopping and try to explain to y'all that I'm taking this shit serious. How many times do I gotta explain to y'all?
I'm with you.
Especially with I'm gonna keep it. I'm about to get in my feelings because being a female rapper, like bitches want to shake ass. When I'm in the room with all these A-list rappers and all that, y'all bitches gonna be on what, right? Y'all bitches gonna be in here trying to bag something, right?
Right.
Y'all gonna be sucking dick, right?
Right.
But y'all don't want to go to these little, hole in the wall shows with me. Y'all bitches don't know my words. Y'all bitches chose to go out to get hookah instead of coming to something that was important to me. I'm not tolerating that. I'm not tolerating that shit, and niggas shouldn't either. Like,
but better now than later.
Facts.
And that's my point. It'd be like, yo, bro, just run, bro.
If you can't be with me at my worst, then there's just no way.
Y'all this entertainment is red bottoms and niggas is throwing stacks in the air.
Right? No,
but y'all was too cool.
Momentum is
to be at the hole in the wall.
Yeah,
momentum is like flying a kite. I only need but so much fucking wind to get this bitch in the air. Once it's in the air, I'm running with it. I'm not looking for more wind. I'm looking for more tricks to do.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the part I be trying to explain. It's not that you shouldn't take it personal. It's that use it as motivation and push that fucking boulder up that hill because you still ain't put your 10,000 hours in yet.
But you want to know something? I ain't even cut you off, Sam. With that being said, because I love the point that you're making.
No, go ahead.
With that being said, I think that it's also important to tell these little niggas to not overlook. Because I'm the type of person that like, I'll be understanding. Bro got work. Or, all right, you know what, bro?
They got 3 baby moms. You know you got 3 baby moms.
You gonna miss some traps. All right, cool. You know what? I understand that. Don't be too understanding, though. Once motherfuckers continue to show you that what's important to you is not important to them, believe them.
Correct. That's the other part of the conversation. But that's the other part of the conversation because then it becomes like, so you just said you was going to have 30 people on your team. Now you got 3 to 5 motherfuckers that really deserve a shot at being on your team. Like, figure out a way to make them useful and build your team. But don't think that the block is going to be your team. We all know that there's a bunch of motherfuckers that want to see you doing great until you doing better than them. Correct. I just hate that people feel the need to type it all the time online because we don't have to acknowledge it. But we know that exists, right?
Yeah.
So what we do is we try to weed out people before I'm on the road and my entourage got me a Tupac charge.
I got pizza low. You know it's crazy though because it's crazy that like and this is like I ain't trying to get too deep, but it's prevalent in the black community. But ideally, if all 30 niggas on your block bought one of your shirts, came to your show, streamed and blasted 30 niggas. We only talking about 30 people.
I got a whole
if 30 niggas from your block bought a shirt, was at your show in the crowd, rapping your lyrics, every time you drop, all 30 of them niggas is posting that shit. It makes a difference.
Yep. Oh, I've seen it.
But let me tell you, on the flip side of that coin, it goes back to what we was talking about earlier. Niggas are not capable of operating in something that is bigger than themselves.
Correct.
And no matter how much division, the love, In the beginning, yeah, all 30 niggas is gonna be participating. By that third month, there's going to be at least 15 of them niggas that have excuses as to why they're no longer participating. But in reality, it's envy. In reality, within them 90 days, them niggas were slowly but surely asking themselves, well, shit, bro, followers going up, but I ain't like, he ain't like,
I introduced me to such and such the other night.
But it's like, it's sad because it's like, in reality, this shit would be a lot faster if all 30 of your niggas was behind you front line every time. 10 toes for 12 for 12
but I'm gonna tell you the yin and the yang of that shit, right? I seen both sides of it. I've seen, and I'm talking about, I've been in Brooklyn one night and seen a nigga win a competition he lost because the whole block was with him. You see what I'm saying? Like, on some real shit, I'm talking about the OGs that you know is OGs, down to the young wild niggas was all turning up, and they had about 8 or 9 light skins with them.
Because your niggas in that crowd
in there.
spitting your shit word for word.
Matters.
Every bar you spit,
punchline,
they hyping that shit up.
Then I saw another situation where motherfuckers had the whole block with them, and you knew what it was. You know they the man, and everybody know that they the man from where they from, but nobody here ever heard a song from them.
Right. Doesn't matter.
And then a technical difficulty happens that's actually their fault. You used your phone for your music, and you didn't put it on airplane mode. So when you're in the music, you're in the middle of a fucking verse on a trap phone. Your music keeps fading out, right?
Because somebody called. 30
niggas rush the DJ booth.
Oh,
it's not the DJ's fault. And guess what? There's no other exit. You have to have sensible motherfuckers that have your best interest in mind with you. There should have been somebody that said, bro,
don't get me
send
wrong.
me the joints, I'll email them, I'll thumb drive them. Like, you gotta have people in your team.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's a couple niggas
that can get 100 bitches off the internet in 1 week and can't tell you how to transfer a file, bro. Let's do it.
Real rap. Don't get me wrong. There's a couple niggas here specifically to put hands and feet on y'all if y'all act dumb. It's a couple niggas here specifically
to handle business.
If y'all act stupid. But outside of that, niggas gotta be working. Like, what everybody gotta be playing a role. Yeah, y'all here to get bitches.
That's what I'm saying. So even but see,
yes,
you know what happens too. And let's be honest, right? A lot of the times, the most talented motherfucker might not be the alpha or the most dominant motherfucker.
That's a fact.
They might not be a leader.
That's a fact.
They might not be a leader. So the opportunity goes to a natural born follower or conformer a lot of the times. And they wind up in a leadership position that they can't control.
Right.
Because anybody that know anything about mob mentality know that it's hard to tell 20 motherfuckers chill if you don't have a certain level of respect.
Nah. You ain't
Malcolm
lying.
X movie. No one man should have all that power. This is a real thing. It takes something to make that.
Right.
You don't just get a hot song and become that.
Yeah. Nah, real
you don't just get a chain and become that.
But you want to know something also? I think that this goes into play about and there's no shade, but the industry will rather like watch and then like recreate or mimic the real thing versus like you got a few. It's only a select few of niggas that was who they was before they got here. Shout out the whole. And I hear that shit about like niggas like Lil Baby, Nip. Niggas like we was just like you said, niggas was who they was long before
they got
y'all knew and y'all on dick and all that. Like niggas was already him in real life. So when it comes down to like, and it's rare. Yep, it's rare. It's very rare.
Because a lot of times that nigga wasn't putting his energy into being creative. Yeah. He was being that nigga.
Yeah, correct.
He was feeding 25, 50 people.
Facts.
Even if he's feeding 5.
Facts.
But that's what this music thing gives to us. It gives us an opportunity to give 8 people that's focused the situation and make themselves better.
Yeah.
But that comes down to, I know who got the work to put in and I know who got the work. But we need both. Because we in a city where we need both.
Right.
Until we can afford dope security. We got our Secret Service.
Listen.
But no, I want to say it's been a pleasure.
Thank y'all for having me.
I've had a great fucking time with you. I know, to be transparent, we planned on doing this a few weeks ago. That night didn't happen and our schedule is crazy. But I'm glad that you made more time.
We was going to make
figured out time to get back around full circle. Absolutely. I want you to tell the people what to chap in with, especially like specifics. Like if you want to get me, listen to this song or this project, watch this video, whatever have you, and then what's coming up in the future to look forward to and how to follow you and book you.
Well,
by the way, I want you to get some checks.
Period. I go by official T Marie. If you would like an idea of like who I am as an artist, I would say my top 3 songs to tap into would be Believe, which is off my latest project, 333. That's available on Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, YouTube, whatever you mean. It's available.
Whatever you jacking, as the New Yorkers say.
I would probably say my second one will be Favors, which is on my very first project. I Appreciate Your Patience. Again, Apple Music, Spotify, all that shit. Name. And then I'm gonna say Back to the Basics, which is featuring Lena L. That's one of my latest projects, latest visuals that dropped. And I just feel like Back to the Basics speaks directly to the climate of just being from Philly, what we got going on right now, the shit that's going on, taking losses and still having to survive and shit like that. So Back to the Basics, Believe, and Favors. I also have a clothing line. Today I'm wearing my melanated tee. This is from my TM brand. You can check out the website, officialtmbrand.com. I got everything you need. Yeah, I'm just around. Tap into my music, tap into my visuals, subscribe to my YouTube.
Definitely tap into her visuals and follow her, because I think you can learn a lot from watching how she
I appreciate that
do
shit,
her fizzle.
Man.
How she represents her brand. No,
I want to thank y'all for having
me.
Thank you for having me, Barbie. Thank you for having me, Sam. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Barbie. I know you got 1 million flyers up. What can you talk about right now? What's coming up? Man?
Yeah, well, I'm outside this weekend.
Because this gonna come out a couple weeks from now, so come on.
All right, so I need you to come to Be More, but that's Labor Day. We're gonna talk about that.
All right,
I'm gonna send you the invite. And all
Labor Day, Be More.
Yes, pool party.
Okay, period.
But you already know you can find me at the Human Barbie _ on Instagram.
I make sure I follow
Customized by Barbie. Barbie's Bar.
Barbie made my weed track.
All those pages, and
she said customized.
Don't forget to check out All Hail the King. I'm cracking up. Yes. And we actually, I want to do a feature. We got to do a feature.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, but that's where you can find me. So, yes.
I want to shout out Barbie because we just shot the 5th installment of the Sippin with Sammie concert series. And a lot changed at the last minute, and Barbie held me the fuck down. I had Barbie coming through the co-host.
That's that Scorpio energy.
I had her ready to co-host. I had her ready to do something else.
I was supposed to be a host.
Oh,
and she wound up working the bar.
Oh, but see, that's what we talk about.
But she has Barbie's bar, so it's brand. Correct. It's on brand.
Right.
But I wanted her on camera more.
But see, we was talking about team players.
No,
she had to jump into a position. You needed her to jump into something.
I've been telling people that about Barbie since I started hanging
bro, that's
out with her.
that's how you know.
It makes sense.
That's how you know.
I got to my event the last time and said, Barbie, I gotta figure this shit out. Can you put my merch out? My merch tape.
Yeah, we gonna be irked.
Listen,
we gonna be irked. We might have rolled our eyes, but we gonna get that shit done. You know what I mean?
She went behind my back, I think. But
you said what?
It must have been behind my back. I never seen it.
Well, no, yeah, we gonna talk our shit.
No,
I'm good with that as long as we get it done.
I didn't do it to him, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't get that.
He's not supposed to. Because I'm still gonna do it. So I ain't gonna talk. I might holler at you later on.
But I don't mind it as long as we get the job done. Because tomorrow we gonna call each other and be excited about the fact that we accomplished something last night.
That is a fact.
You see what I'm saying?
Anything Sammie needs, I got him.
I just want to thank you again. I think we did a monumental thing. Shout out to New Jersey Weed Man's joint.
Yeah, shout out to them. I can't wait to go back.
I got pee again.
We might be back sooner than later. But
let's go.
This is Sippin with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sipping with Sammie, you ain't sipping right. Please get your fucking life together. And if you ain't tapped into T Marie, I don't know what the fuck you doing with your life.
Shout out to Philly Fruit Juice and Outer Space Bakery.
That part. Shout out to all of them, and we out of this.
I swear. Woo! HP.
This shit ain't easy
At all.
This shit ain't easy.
No.
I need food on the table.
Yeah.
I need food on the table.
Yeah.
This shit ain't easy.
Nah.
Believe me.
Oh.
I need food on the table.
I swear.
I need food on the table. Ooh, it's hot.
Hot.
Some are saying better keep your doors locked.
God damn.
Don't hug the block.
Nah.
Out of time on the sideline where the niggas watch. Yeah, the cops. Tell them don't shoot up the spot. Ooh, it's hot. Some are easy. This shit ain't easy. I need food on the table. I need food on the table. This shit ain't easy. Believe me. I need food on the table. I need food on the table.
Get it or get low. You can get hit, yo, because somebody saw your trade, wanted your shit, yo. Gotta watch who you with. They wreck chasing, indirect hating, till they can replace them. Ruger from PH, uptown where I'm stationed. HB said, please believe me, you related. Making more than plates, focused on presentation. Summer saying we coming to jam, no more waiting, nah.
This shit ain't easy. This shit ain't easy. I need food on the table. I need food on the table. This shit ain't easy. Believe me. I need food on the table. I need food on the table.
I swear.